Hey, this is Mills from America. We are back with another loop station analysis. We are just going to continue from our first video that we finished doing a few days ago, which was the first quarterfinal. In the UK Loop Station Battle 2020 virtually, of course. So if you missed that one, the link should be there. So I highly recommend that you watch that one first. That way you can get a background of things, so that I won't need to cover quite as much ground starting this video and on. So this is our second quarterfinal, and it looks like we have Clockworkz, who is from the crew, versus Delta T. Delta T has not had much airtime, unfortunately. I'm thinking summer of 2021, next summer. I will probably invite him to become one of my next interviewees. So if you're confused when I'm talking about my interviewees, please go check out where I have routine news. Alright, Clockworkz. Like dips down. Alright. Good kick. I wonder if his connection, because do you hear how it kind of dips back and forth? And I'm not sure if he's on ripcord or not. Alright, so it sounds like some drum and bass. Kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. Alright, so this is sounding like a very, very long buildup. Okay, now we're starting to hear. Whoops. Okay, so I guess he's just doing a lot of vocoder, I guess. He also has a VT4, which lets you harmonize and use more melody. All right, nice build up. All right, good drop. Personally, I think he could have maybe gotten into it a little bit sooner. I think he could have used. All right, cool, and that's probably granular delay. But I still think that he could have used some type of vocals on top of it.
Jeez.
So, not too bad for a first round.
Jeez. Big up that one. We're gonna go straight in. Are you ready, Delta
I'd
T?
give it maybe, I don't know, 83, because I think that could have
been. Turn your
been
mic up a little bit. You're a little bit low. Turn your mic up a little bit.
Substance.
Is that good?
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's go. Let's count down, Hobbs. Hey.
3, 2, 1.
Hobbit's camera isn't fully working. All right, that's a pretty fast
Here we
build.
go. And 1, 2, 3.
Got the vibe ambience going already.
1, 2, 3. 1.
Are you ready for this?
2,
Are you ready to go?
3.
Are you ready to dance with me all night long?
1,
Are you ready for this?
2,
Are you ready to go?
3.
Are you ready to dance with me all night long?
1,
Are you ready for this?
2,
Are you ready to go?
3.
Are you
All right, and in case you missed it from my first tutorial, I said how usually when I said my first tutorial, I meant the analysis prior to this. When I was talking about how Tonker's lead voice, sometimes with the singing, I usually recommend like a B is EQ. My A is usually dynamics, not just dynamics, but specifically live comp. But he's probably doing it. You'd have to go in there, and I'm guessing it's either the phone vox. So you'd have to go all the way over, and now it sounds like this, right? But for me, I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna keep my live comp like this, and he would have to do this filter combination that I was trying to describe yesterday. So around here. So 50 in the middle. So yeah, so again, filter or the dynamics phone box. All right? I hope that I hope that was helpful. All right.
ready to dance with me all night long?
1,
Are you ready for this?
2,
Are you ready to go?
3.
Are you ready to dance with me all night long?
Yeah, so it's a nice texture, like phaser and synth.
1,
Are you ready for this?
2,
Are you ready to go?
3.
Are you ready to dance with me all night long?
1,
Are you ready for this?
2,
Are you ready to go?
3.
Are you ready to dance with me all night long?
1,
Are you ready for this?
2,
Are you ready to go?
3.
So he hasn't really variated the. Okay, spoke too soon. And it's a cool break. The only thing is when you break, you want to make sure that your lead vocals, that the mix, that your manual mixing, of your IFX is still on point. Because if we scroll back here for a second, let me
All night
find it.
long.
1,
Are you ready for this?
2,
Are you ready to go?
3. Are you ready to?
You see how are you ready for this, and then are you ready for this? It needs to stay are you ready? And if anything, he should have actually peaked it. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? And then that would have been way more effective as a build up into the like the new going from wicka wicka to wicka wicka. Really nice. I think it's either a pitch bend or a transpose. So a nice variation of the pitches.
Are you ready for this?
2,
Are you ready to go?
3.
Are you ready to
And you see how
dance
on his track too, he's doing
Are you ready for this?
the
Are you
undo
ready
track.
to go? Are you ready to dance with me all night long?
Time.
You already know about the undo trick, then you can skip ahead to about a minute If not, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show you what I mean by the undo trick. Christoph and Brez have also done a great job with this. Basically, something like that, and then okay. Well, let's say you don't always want the all the time. Let's say you just want to take out the. Well, that was the overdub, right? So if you're going, you see how it takes it away? I can bring it back in and out. Just the kick, both. There you go. Okay. Moving on.
Peace. That was
Crazy.
Delta. We are gonna go straight
All right,
back
so-
in with Clockworkz. Clockworkz,
So
you ready?
for
Yeah?
Delta, I'd give that
Yes.
Okay. Let's count it out.
probably
All right. In.
probably like in maybe like a 79.5. Sorry, I'm sometimes picky with my decimals. Jazz. Since when does Clockworkz do jazz? UK only at the UK Beatbox, Loopstation, Kruru, Clip Server. His EQ levels are beautiful. His kicks always sound like kicks. You notice how his sound like perfect hi-hats? His VT4 stuff sounds nice in middle, maybe high mids, which personally I like high mids. Some people think I only like highs. That's not true.
Welcome everyone to my smooth house of jazz. So this is a story about my little life. My name is Clockworkz and I'm in the UKBC. And look who I'm battling, that's online. As if it's my boy called Delta T. Now let's have a look at all the styles I can do. I can do house, side,
Yep.
trance, and
All right.
drum and bass.
Perfect structure there. He brought his snare. He had his snare out and then he brought it in. These lyrics are the cutest, the cutest, most wholesome thing ever. Trash talk.
That's why you're gonna lose, so watch how I kill you with my old school tunes. Ha. One device gag. Man, that's so sad. So go ahead and diss.
It's
'Cause I know you
I think the
really
transpose
want
pitch bend
such simple beats.
ideally was good,
You might as
but
well
when you pitch
believe.
bend and transpose up,
Now I
keep in
can
mind
go
that it
home,
almost works like a filter,
'cause
and
this
it's
is
and
my
the
approach.
EQ isn't as pure.
'Cause this is my approach.
And the opposite holds true. If you transpose or pitch bend a little bit too much lower, is it would get muddy. So it's sometimes you feel like you're in a catch-22. Basically, that's why I always recommend, and I'm going to show you why. I hope you can hear the difference. I hope you're using headphones. You've been using headphones. For example, I'm going to go up here to transpose. Actually, I'll just do pitch bend. Personally, I think teaching with pitch bend is a little bit easier. Okay, so if I'm doing do. Right. So personally, I like to use pitch bend when teaching. So if I'm going okay. Okay, yeah, that's cool, but if it sounds a little too chipmunky, I would recommend. So your TFX A is usually your pitch bend. Your TFX B, I highly recommend. I'm not sure if Clockworkz attempted this, but I would recommend using your TFX B as your EQ. Okay, and now you see why I keep using this concept of the aerial camera view instead of just looking at my head, because that way when I'm saying TFX B EQ, for my lesser experienced folks are like, what are you talking about? Well, now you know, because you can just look right down at this, right? Okay, so for this I would go all the way up to the highs and I would turn that down. Personally, I like to I try to leave my lows and middles alone. I just try to turn down the highs. Okay, and then if you want to turn down the level, it's up to you. But just like a high -5. So I want you to hear the difference. Okay, here's the original. Now I transpose it. That's without EQ. Now listen with EQ. Yeah, it makes it sound a little bit more pure. So without, with, you see how it's a little more mellow. And it's mellow, but it's without taking away the overall volume. Okay? All right, let's keep on going.
They're switching up the vibes. And we're going to go for number round 2 from Delta T. Delta T, you ready?
Now, Clockworkz, I know you like a bit of delay, so I got this one for you.
All right, so again, it's yo Clockworkz instead of yo Clockworkz. So we need that breath support and that volume, that mixing. It's all about the mixing. Really nice PF snares. The spit snares, I think they had a little bit too much low end in them. Those spit snares, I would have put an EQ or something, or like a Brighton Dynamics. So. All right. Clockworkz with the granular stuff. Industrial. Rusi so-so vibes here. I'm getting it. And I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if this is because it's either with or without ripcord, but I feel like overall the mix has a lot of highs. We could somehow, I don't know. All right, perfect delay and reverb on that. All right, he's got the vinyl flick going. All right, so this has been used by pretty much every single UK looper. Shout out to Balance when he did the Unlucky Sorrow. I did it first. This is how you do it. So granular delay is usually on TFX C. I'm gonna put my TFX A on vinyl flick, and my granular is usually like 70, 70, 70 kind of. So if he's doing, something like that. Now, when you vinyl it, So you get the point with that. If you want a lot more detailed vinyl flick tutorial, specifically where the camera is directly overhead, I will probably link that up here over there. Because if you can't find it, then go into my tutorials playlist and just search Milz vinyl flick, and it'll explain the vinyl way more than what I just said now. All right, so 3-0 Clockworkz. So personally, I think Delta T's second round was a lot better than his first round. I don't know, it just felt more full, and it just seemed a little bit more exciting to me. So I think I would agree with their decision, but honestly, I think that Delta T I think I actually liked Delta T's second round better than Clockwork's second round. I think Clockworkz kind of made up for that difference in the first round. So in this case, like, you never really know unless you DM them on Instagram. Like, if all three of these judges thought that Clockworkz did a lot better or just a little bit better, we don't know. Personally, I think Clockworkz pulled ahead by just a little bit. So Clockworkz, to be fair, does have more experience, especially on the live UK stage at the Garage. And Delta T is obviously coming up. All right, so that was the end of my analysis for this quarterfinal. It looks like we will have 2 more quarterfinals, because quarterfinal means top 8. And then we'll get to 2 semifinals, and that'll take us to the finals. All right, so it looks like next up, it's going to be, let's see, Guru, Epos, and a few others. All right, and as always, please read my description carefully. It has links. If I decide to put up my donation links, I'll do that. Please DM me if you wish to keep supporting these projects. It takes a lot of time and effort. It looks easy, but it's not. Also, shout out to other loop tutorialists and analysts such as Shazam, Sin, Brez, Christoph, etc. Okay? All right, we'll see you on the next quarterfinal of the UK Loops 2020-ish. Big up!